I'm someone who needs to experience things to really be convinced that those things are real. I like the color and the depth that experience brings, and I prioritize that above what I've read or people's opinions. And I feel that many people are probably the same way. Though with the caveat that, of course, there's a lot that we can't experience that is very much true. In any case, astrology is one of those things that can really pull you in. And I think every astrologer has gone through a phase where it becomes an obsession and you're constantly reading about it and thinking about it. And I've gone through that phase as well. And I felt this at the time, that it actually becomes very alienating. And it takes you away from experience. But as your relationship or my relationship with astrology matured a bit, it became more about picking up on patterns in what I see in front of me. And this is one reason I like medical astrology so much, because you see what's in a person's chart right in their bodies, with something happening to them in their bodies, in their constitution. So more recently, my favorite way to approach astrology is tracking the planets and tracking events and themes in particular in my life that recur over and over again. But actually, I'm feeling out how they recur on a schedule. And that schedule is described by the motions of the planets. At least partly. And since astrology is a study of cycles, and it's the nature of life that certain themes come up over and over again in a person's life, and those themes can be unique. It's interesting to correlate those two. Now, reading transit charts or tracking the planets can be a very multi-layered thing. And it's a lot like an optometrist's office, where you have a big lens, a smaller lens, and a smaller lens, a smaller lens. And they shift around the lenses so they could get a prescription for you. The big lens is the major themes in the sky. For example, this year, Uranus, Saturn is the theme in the sky. It perfected in the winter, and it's perfecting again in December, this month. So it was a theme that continued through this whole entire year. And the smallest lens that I work with, or I look at, is the applications of the moon. And as the moon passes by and transits and conjuncts every planet in the sky during the course of a moon cycle. And you can see how the big themes of the year can come up in small ways as the moon transits over the planets involved in those big themes. For example, last month, in October, the end of October, the new moon cycle was in opposition to Uranus, and Uranus is in my 8th currently, and the new moon was in my 2nd, 8th of death and release, and the 2nd house of possessions. And on that day, my car was broken into, and it felt like violation of self. Something I could not control and made me feel a bit helpless, which I associate with the 8th house.